Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Sean Patrick. I'm from the School of Health Systems and Public Health. As part of your introduction to statistical concepts, what I'll be doing today is giving you a brief tutorial on using Excel to calculate basic statistics. For the duration of this short video, we'll be looking at the following points. Firstly, we'll look at using Excel. What are some of the things you can calculate, and specifically calculating descriptive statistics. I'll then give you a walkthrough through Excel, how to sort the data, how to calculate the measures of tendency and the measures of dispersion that you learnt about in your previous lecture, and then there will be a brief summary. So firstly, why use Excel? Well, Excel makes it very easy to calculate descriptive statistics. The descriptive statistics give you a general idea of the trends in your data. This would include the mean, the mode, the median, the range, as well as the standard deviation, amongst other things. You can calculate the count, you can calculate the maximum as well as the minimum, and you'll be able to determine the interquartile range. The advantages of Excel is that you can easily calculate the descriptive statistics, and I will show you an example now. And once you understand how the calculations are done in Excel, it makes it a little bit easier once you do the same calculations using Stata, because you'll input your raw data into Excel and you would export that to Stata, and then you would do your calculations. So now I will take you through Excel to show you exactly how you calculate all the measures of tendency and the measures of dispersion.
Okay, so here we have our data set in Excel now. We will use Excel to analyze the data. So briefly, we'll be using the two tabs, the one tab which is the formulas tab and the other tab which is the data tab. So let's start off by using the data tab. We will select our data set. As you can see, the numbers are randomly put in. On the data tab, we will click on sort the data from smallest to largest. The data is then sorted from the smallest number to the largest number. We will now proceed to calculate the measures of tendency and the measures of dispersion. From your previous lecture, you had a look at what are the definitions for the median, for the mode, and for the mean, and also you had a look at the measures of dispersion where you had the definitions and the calculations for the quartile ranges, quartile 1, quartile 3, definition for the interquartile range, and standard deviation. If you are not sure, please go back again to the lecture titled Summary Statistics for Numerical Data. Okay, we will now calculate the mean. We'll go on to the formulas tab. Under the formulas tab, you will see there are quite a number of functions. We will be using the insert function. You click on insert function, you will have the equal sign, which means you are inputting a function. In here, you will search for the average, which is the same as the mean. We then ask you which is the range of the data you want to put in, and you would then include the entire data set. You would click on done, and it would then calculate the mean of the data set. We will repeat the same procedure to calculate the median. And then again, you would select the entire data set and you would click done, and you would have the median. Thirdly, you would carry on and we would calculate the mode. Click on there. You would then select all your data and you would then click on done. So now you have calculated the mean, the median, and the mode using Excel. And again, if you need more definitions, please refer back to the previous lecture. Do bear in mind that the mean and the median is generally used for reporting any of the data. The mode is not really very useful. Um, by definition, the mode is the variable that appears the most number of times. So in this case, in your data set, you would have the number 34 that appears the most number of times. Okay, we'll now move on and we'll now calculate the measures of dispersion. Again, we'll press the equal sign and we would search for quartile. And here again, we would select the entire data set, and here we're looking for quartile number 1. Calculate that. Then we'll look at quartile 3. Again, select the entire data, and that would be quartile 3. Now, if you recall that quartile number 3, let's start with quartile number 1, that the 25th percentile is often referred to as quartile 1, and the 75th percentile is referred to as quartile 3. Therefore, the interquartile range is then from quartile 1 to quartile 3. So in our example, the interquartile range would then be from 34 to 71. Okay, what is important is that the interquartile range includes the 50% of the middle observations, and this does not include the extreme values. Okay, so now let us calculate the standard deviation. Here we would then click on STDEV, and again we would select our data and we would then click on done. We've now calculated the measures of tendency and the measures of dispersion. Just one short note on standard deviation. Generally speaking, the bigger the standard deviation, the bigger the variation in your data points are, meaning that if your data is spread very widely, they're very scattered, then your standard deviation would be quite higher. Okay, so let's summarize now. We had raw data that was inputted into Excel. We then used the data tab where we used the sort function by smallest to largest, and we sorted our data. We then used the formulas tab under the insert function button where we calculated the measures of tendency as well as the measures of dispersion. It is very important to understand how to do these simple calculations in Excel, because when you go further in your module and you start using Stata, you would build on these very simple calculations and you do more complicated calculations. It's always easier to start in Excel because it's very user friendly. Thank you very much for watching this short video, and I wish you all the best in the further data analysis that you will be doing. Thank you. Bye.